I'm gonna find them, and I'm gonna take it all back.
Some movie premises sound strange on paper and then suddenly feel irresistible the second you see the right trailer. That is exactly what the Rivals of Amziah King is doing. A beekeeper in Oklahoma, a long-estranged adopted daughter, a bluegrass band, a honey business under attack, a theft that turns something warm and homespun into something tense and dangerous. On paper, that could have gone in a dozen different directions and fallen apart in most of them. But based on this first trailer, it looks like Patterson may have found a way to make all of those pieces belong to the same world. And more importantly, to make that world feel lived in, specific, and worth protecting, the first thing that really jumps out at me is the tone. This does not feel like a standard crime drama wearing rustic clothes for style points. It feels like a story that genuinely grows out of its setting. Oklahoma is not just a backdrop here. It feels like the blood in the movie's veins. The trailer leans into community, local rhythms, music, work, and the quiet codes of a small-town life that can look charming right up until somebody threatens the thing that holds it together. That gives the entire film a distinct identity immediately. And in a movie landscape crowded with interchangeable thrillers, that matters a lot. Matthew McConaughey seems to be the anchor that makes all of this click. Amziah King looks like the kind of role he can slip into without forcing a single beat. He is playing a respected local figure, a beekeeper with a successful honey business, a man who also leads a bluegrass group that appears to be deeply woven into the life of the town around him. That kind of character only works if the audience believes other people would naturally orbit him, trust him, and protect him. McConaughey has always had that ability. He can play charisma as warmth instead of performance, which is exactly what a role like this needs. What makes the trailer more interesting, though, is that it does not just sell Amziah as some folksy local hero. It immediately gives him emotional weight through his relationship with Kateri, the adopted daughter who comes back into his life after years of distance. That is the engine that seems to matter most here. Without that emotional fracture, this could have turned into a quirky small-town crime movie and nothing more. But the father-daughter dynamic gives the story a deeper center. It suggests this is not just about stolen honey or rival businesses. It is about repair, about second chances, about whether a person can rebuild trust while everything else around them is starting to come apart. Angelina Lookingglass seems especially important in that balance. Based on the trailer, Kateri does not arrive just to be a passive witness to Amziah's world. She arrives carrying distance, tension, and the possibility of change. The movie appears to understand that her return should feel uncertain before it feels healing. That is the right instinct. Reconciliation means nothing if it comes too easily. The trailer lets their reunion feel a little awkward, a little guarded, which gives the later moments more potential emotional force. If the film keeps that complexity alive, then Kateri may end up being just as central as Amziah himself, and then the movie pulls its turn. What begins like a soulful, slightly offbeat regional drama suddenly darkens when a major honey theft threatens to destroy the business. That shift is the part that could have felt silly in the wrong hands. Honey theft is not the most automatically intimidating premise in the world, but that is exactly why the trailer is working. It treats the theft not as a quirky gimmick, but as a violation. In this world, honey is not just product. It is livelihood, identity, community, legacy. When it disappears, it tears something open. Once the trailer frames it that way, the escalation makes total sense. That is also where the movie's title really starts to land. The Rivals of Amziah King is not just pointing toward faceless opposition. It suggests a world where local competition has history, pride, and personal bitterness attached to it. The crime does not seem abstract. It seems rooted in resentment and ambition, which is exactly what gives regional thrillers their bite. The best stories in this lane are never really about the stolen object itself. They are about what the theft reveals about the people, the place, and the power structure around it. This trailer hints that the honey is only the surface. Underneath it is something a lot uglier, What I also like is how the music appears to function as more than decoration. A lot of trailers use roots music to signal authenticity, but here the bluegrass element looks genuinely tied to Amziah's identity and to the film's larger mood. That matters because it makes the movie feel less like a collection of genre ingredients and more like a cohesive world. The music is not there just to make the movie sound southern. It seems to be part of how these people connect, perform, and hold themselves together. When that same world starts to crack, the tension automatically carries more texture. Andrew Patterson is a big reason I am paying attention here. After The Vast of Night, there was already reason to believe he could create atmosphere out of very specific places and very human conversations. What this trailer suggests is that he has not lost that interest in mood and community, but he is now applying it to something dirtier and more volatile. That could be a great combination. The best thrillers are not just about danger. They are about danger entering a world that felt coherent before it arrived. Patterson seems to understand that the movie will hit harder if we first believe in the life Amziah has built. The supporting cast helps too. Cole Sprouse, Jake Horowitz, Tony Revolori, and Kurt Russell give the project a larger sense of shape, even if the trailer does not fully reveal how all of them fit in yet. That kind of ensemble can either overcrowd a movie or deepen it, and right now I am leaning toward the second option because the trailer feels so confident about its own center. It knows the story belongs to Amziah and Kateri first. Everyone else appears to be there to add pressure, unpredictability, or texture to the world around them, and honestly, that blend is what makes this look promising. It has the bones of a crime thriller, but it does not seem eager to strip away personality in order to become serious. It still looks warm. It still looks musical. It still looks character first. That combination is exactly what could make it memorable. Plenty of crime dramas know how to get dark. Not all of them know how to stay soulful while doing it. That is why the trailer leaves such a strong impression. It is not screaming for attention. It is pulling you in. It is saying, here is a place, here are people, here is a life, and now watch what happens when someone tries to take a piece of it away. That is a stronger pitch than most thrillers manage. The stakes do not feel imported from another movie. They feel organic to this one. If the Rivals of Amziah King lands the way this trailer suggests, it could end up being one of those rare late summer releases that sneaks up on people by offering something a little harder to categorize and a lot easier to care about. It has crime. It has music. It has emotional rupture. It has local flavor. It has Matthew McConaughey looking completely at home in a role that could be funny, wounded, and dangerous at the same time.